I think this is a really important video. I want to show you the different perspective that I look at health challenges. And we understand that the body has an intelligent control system. And it's that intelligent control system that knows exactly how to run the body. There's trillions of reactions per second, every single second of your life, nonstop. This innate intelligence that our body is designed with knows exactly how to run the body. So when we take a look at things, we're looking at it from a little bit of a different perspective. And so, for instance, it's important to look at the challenge or the symptom as possibly the body's way of adapting to an abnormal condition, to an abnormal challenge. And the body's going to respond differently to different situations. So it's the demands of the body. And we see this with just normal physiology of the body, with with blood pressure, for instance, just normal blood pressure. And they've done studies on this. They took a group of people with an average blood pressure, came out to 110/70, and they found out that if you would poke them with something or you'd scare them, you'd see the blood pressure would spike up. It would usually spike up to somewhere 150/70. And then after they realize what had just happened, then it comes back down. It would actually go lower than what it originally was. So it would go down to lower to somewhere in the area of 80/50. They found out that when you slept, it goes down into that area. So when you're exercising, it goes way up. Again, why does it do that? Because the muscles need more oxygen. The muscles need more nutrients. So the body looks at the demand and raises it. So when there is an abnormal condition, somebody has high blood pressure, for instance, and we have a video on high blood pressure, and you can watch that. If they have high blood pressure, it may be, if you have atherosclerosis, for instance, you have plaquing that's narrowing the blood vessels, then you're going to have higher pressure to get the same amount of blood there. If you have the kidneys are not functioning properly and can't filtrate the blood properly, you have to push through more blood. So there's always different conditions. If a person has a fever, that some may look at that and say that's abnormal. Not if you've been invaded by a microbe. So what the body does is it raises the temperature to make it a hostile environment for bacteria and viruses, for that microbe. So it makes a condition where they have a difficult time surviving, yet the body doesn't. By raising the temperature, it increases the speed up of reaction. So you may increase certain reactions anywhere from 100 to 1,000 times faster. That's the body's normal response. If someone's vomiting, if they ate something bad, the body wants to get rid of it. It's going to do whatever it can to actually get rid of it. Even things that you think that the answer, like somebody has candida. Well, if a person has lots of heavy metal, they have heavy metal toxicity, one of the things is that our intestinal flora, and particularly the candida, actually eats these heavy metals. And so and by the way, once it eats it, it can turn the elemental metal into methyl mercury. So let's say it can make mercury, methyl mercury, which is more toxic. And the reason it's more toxic, it's more bioavailable. Now, when you kill that off, if you kill off the candida, now it can go throughout the system, more bioavailable. So there's ways to go about this. And you have to look at all conditions based on this. Cholesterol, we say, it's just because it's found at the scene of the crime. So cholesterol is this gooey substance, and it can repair cracks in the blood vessels. It can repair these leaks of the blood vessels. So what happens is we see that and we say that this is bad. And you'll have doctors that they think, well, the lower the cholesterol, the better. Well, there's been studies, and the highest rate of death as far as cholesterol levels go is total cholesterol under 150. So it's not the high cholesterol, it's the low cholesterol. And the reason is cholesterol is necessary for all of your hormones. It's pregnenolone, DHEA, the testosterone, estrogen. No wonder why we have so many people now have low testosterone, for instance, because they're on cholesterol lowering medications. You take out the cholesterol, you have the brain A large majority of the brain is cholesterol. So now you have dementia, you can have all kinds of challenges. So it's just, when we take a look at any challenge, one of the things that you're going to find out is I'm going to look at, okay, so there's something abnormally going on here. The body's intelligent. Why is the body adapting that way? Like, what is going on? Is there just a broken mechanism, or is there a broken mechanism up the road and the body's trying to adapt to make up for that? Like, what's going on? And then let's take care of that. Let's correct that. And there's things that you can do to correct it that the body can really respond in a really positive way. And I think that's the danger today is that people, the medical community will put somebody on a medication, and then they end up, because they're not correcting the cause of the problem. So the body is trying to do everything it can to correct this, adapt to this. And by the way, one of the things that we can see this with is the Helsinki study. And I have a video you can watch on this, and I go through some of the things that they found in the Helsinki study. The Helsinki study went on for years. It's called the Helsinki Businessman Study. And what they did was they took, I'll just tell you because you can go watch the video on this, but just real simply, they had individuals, for instance, they had high blood pressure. So they said, that has a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes. There's different challenges. And what they did was they had one group of individuals that they corrected these challenges with medications, and the other group they did not. And they want to see how much better that the group that they corrected these conditions did than the group that they did not correct. Well, surprise, surprise, the group that they didn't correct actually did much better. So the first time they did it, and after so many years, they checked and it was a shock, and they said, well, they could be taken into, there's other things that could have contributed to that. But long term, it's going to be the group that we corrected. Well, then the next time they did it, it was like another 5 or 10 years later, and they had the same result, and that result continued till the very end. That the group that they corrected the blood pressure didn't do as well as the group that they didn't correct the blood pressure. And the same with diabetes and everything else. And it was like, whoa, what is going on here? And that is the way that the medical community is looking at things, is something is wrong and let's correct it. For instance, let's take a fever. People just don't go around getting high fevers. You get a fever when the body has some challenge. So if you have a bacterial infection, the body is working overtime. It's burning calories. There's a lot of reactions to create that fever. And so here we come in and say, oh, you have a fever. We need to lower that fever. We need to get that fever down to normal range because it's so uncomfortable. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for us, but it's even more uncomfortable for the bacteria. It's part of our body's defense mechanism. And so by eliminating that, and by the way, there's been studies with that too. And it involved lizards. But I just want you to understand the way that I look at these things and why we've created these amazing wellness programs that people have these amazing results with. And we look at it from a completely different perspective. And that's what we're going to do on every one of our challenges. So if you like this approach, and it is a different approach, give us a thumbs up, like us, share us, comment. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. You'll get a lot more information on these various health challenges and the way that we look at them in our office and how we take care of these things. Till next time, we'll see you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment on this video.